He asked me one night if I could picture a future with him. I met his gaze, steady and sure, and replied without hesitation, "You were never part of the plan." And the second those words left my lips, I saw something inside him crumble. Not with noise or tears, just a quiet, total breaking. My name is Nora. I'm 30 now, but this happened when I was 27, an age where I thought I had my whole life mapped out. I didn't. Not even close. Jason entered my world when I was at a low point. I had just walked away from a tangled, draining relationship. I felt burnt out, emotionally numb, and completely guarded. Then one evening at a coworker's dinner party, there he was, pouring drinks, lighting up the room with laughter, wearing the kind of smile that somehow made you want to trust him. He wasn't the type I usually went for. He was too mindful, too tuned in, too present. Ironically, that's exactly what I needed. We spent the entire evening talking. He walked me to my car afterward, texted to make sure I got home safely, and from that night on, he just stayed. There were no grand gestures or impassioned confessions. He simply kept showing up. When I forgot to eat, he brought me food. When I pulled away, he gave me room, just enough to breathe, but not disappear. He made things feel safe. He made life simpler. But I didn't fall in love, at least not in the way I thought love was supposed to feel. No spark, no racing pulse, just calm. And back then, calm felt like nothing at all. We were together for more than a year. He never pushed, never demanded clarity. But I could feel it. He wanted something more. A future. A forever. And I kept reassuring myself, this isn't permanent. He's just a passing chapter, not the whole book. Because I had plans. Graduate school. Traveling the world. A move to a city I had dreamed about since college. And Jason. He didn't fit into that picture, not because he lacked anything, but because I had drafted the blueprint of my life long before he came along. Then came that night, just the two of us at home, finishing a late dinner. He had just folded my laundry. Yes, really. That's the kind of man he was. And in the quiet, he looked at me and asked, "Can you see a future with me?" I didn't pause. I didn't sugarcoat it. I just said, "You were never part of the plan." If you're still reading, comment plan. Because sometimes we don't realize what we had until we toss it aside for a future that never shows up. He didn't argue. Didn't plead. He just stood up, walked into the next room, and packed a bag. He left that night. No drama, no shouting, just stillness. And then, he was gone. At first, I felt free. Unburdened. I told myself I'd done the right thing. I had been honest. I was staying true to the life I envisioned. But the silence grew heavier. The empty spaces where his messages used to land, his music suggestions, his little reminders to drink water, they began to ache. I expected to feel powerful, liberated even, but instead I felt empty. A shell of confidence with nothing solid inside. A few weeks later, the email arrived. I'd been accepted. The program I'd dreamed of, in a city I'd longed to live in, full of potential and promise. I sat there, staring at the screen, and all I wanted was someone to call. Someone who would cheer with me, show up with takeout and that easy grin, proud of me in the way only one person ever was. And my mind went straight to him. Jason. The one who had always been there. The man who hadn't been part of my vision, but maybe should have been the entire picture from the start. I sent him a message. "I miss you." He wrote back, "I'm sorry. I hope you get everything you've ever hoped for." And that was it. No dramatic reunion. No rekindled love. Just a quiet goodbye that felt like a door closing softly behind me, locking itself without a sound. It's been nearly 3 years since then. I completed the program, made the move, landed the job. I met new people, built a life, and things are fine. Good even. But no one has been him. No one folds my laundry just because they know it's been a hard week. No one looks at me with the kind of gentle certainty he did, as if I wasn't a challenge to overcome, but someone worth loving just as I was. I had a plan. A clean, well-designed path laid out perfectly ahead of me. And I followed it. But now, sitting alone in this sleek, high-rise apartment, I sometimes wonder, what exactly did I trade away? I hit every goal, reached every destination, but somewhere along the way, I think I left something behind. Or maybe someone. The man who wasn't supposed to be permanent, but maybe was supposed to be everything. Here's what I've come to understand. Just because something feels calm doesn't mean it's unremarkable. Just because someone enters your life quietly doesn't mean they're only passing through. Sometimes love doesn't arrive with fireworks. Sometimes it shows up with stillness, and that's how you know it's real. If you're lucky enough to find someone who brings you peace, don't dismiss them simply because they weren't in your original plans. They might be the very piece your heart's been missing. Comment plan if you've ever let go of someone who didn't match your dream but may have been perfect for your soul. Share this with someone who might need the reminder. Love is not always loud, and pride isn't always worth the cost. Plans change. And sometimes, the best part of your story is the one you never saw coming.